Stop scrolling. We are here. The information, I ain't want to get too sacrilegious on and get crazy, but the number one podcast in Georgetown County. And tonight, again, my goal here is to continually raising the IQ level of the podcast. Okay. And it's not because of me. I've told you guys that repeatedly. So with the help of my partner here, you know, we've come together tonight and we got a really, really special show tonight for y'all. So again, welcome into Andrews the Podcast. I am Jamal Richardson. As soon as you get in here, be kind and wipe your feet and ring the doorbell by hitting the like button so that you really want to hit the like button tonight so you can bring people into this conversation. We're going to have a dynamic conversation with some fascinating person, and this topic is something that we're not doing politics tonight. I don't even know why I got to cutting through the noise of politics. This ain't politics. This affect everybody, every socio-economic, every race, every whatever group you put yourself in. This topic right here is for you. And so Mayor, welcome, sir. How are you? How's everything going so far this week?
Oh, busy. I'm coming off of almost a week away from the office. I had to go up to DC and I had the honor of being a part of a promotion to CW5. So one of my young warriors served with her in Kuwait back in 2013 through 15. She's working at the White House Eisenhower building, and she's now achieved the highest rank in the Warrant Officer Corps. And so I had to make that trip. That was very special. And from there, went on down. This friend of mine got married on Saturday in Newberry. So I left DC, go to Newberry, and then came home for, all the festivities for the Christmas, to kick off the Christmas holiday season with the parade and the tree lighting. So it's very busy. And in fact, our guest tonight is a result of a conversation I had with our event coordinator. And, she told me about this new business that's in town that she's going to be a part of. And it's, let me make sure I get that right. And we'll talk more about it it's Your Health.
Your Health.
There it is. So we won't be talking politics tonight. We're really talking about things that affects people's lives daily. It may be heavy on, talking about, the health issues or concerns with women, but it actually, as I, did some rush study tonight, it affects us as well. So we're talking about hormone therapy and that kind of business, menopause, perimenopause, that kind of stuff. But then we have some things that I know we're going to learn some stuff tonight too. The men are going to learn a lot about what's going on with us, and then what your health physicians and those folks can offer. And so I'm looking forward to it. I had an opportunity to go down there today and check the place out. It's just outside of the city limits as you're going south on 41 towards Jamestown. Nice little, if you're not paying attention, you may miss it. But again, the work that's going on in there and the expertise that's in this building, man, is something that we all need to be aware of and take advantage of. And so they've been here, I think, less than a year. We'll talk a little bit about how fast things are moving in terms of, as the word get out. And what I said to the folks Sunday night, we need to have them here. This is what we need to talk about. Politics is great. We know we live it every day, but we don't talk enough about our health. Sometimes we shy away from it. Things that makes us uncomfortable, we want to talk about it. And tonight we're going to dig deep into some of these things. So we're going to, I had the pleasure today of meeting a young lady. Her name is Brooke Howard. She's a master in nursing. I was born and raised here in Andrews, South Carolina, and continues to reside here with her husband of 17 years and her 3 children, Jay 16. And we have John is 11 and Isabella 10 and 19 years in nursing experience. So again, we're going to learn a lot tonight from Ms. Brooke, and she's built this very diverse platform in the clinical background. With a master's degree in science of nursing from Walden University, August 2021. and also serves on the board, board certified as an adult. And I'm going to mess this word up. I'm going to mess up geriology. Somebody's going to help me. I know Miss Wilson will help me pronounce this thing, and I'm jacking it up. We're going to get it all right, and Mrs. Brooke is going to help us. But again, she serves as a president of a clinical operation for Your Health, where she's responsible for leading clinical strategy and oversight across organizations. And I tell you what, when I read, highlight a few more things, she has this incredible resume. And again, we have the peptide therapy certification trained in the therapeutic use of peptides for regenerative medicine. Look down here, wound care certified as an assessment management and evidence-based treatment for acute and chronic wounds, including advanced wound healing techniques. Botox. We're going to hear a little bit about that tonight. She also has some credentials in Botox, certified hormone health and menopause management, specializing in evaluating and treating hormone imbalances. And what I learned today too, there's a perimenopause. Didn't know anything about that. So we know about menopause. We heard about it, don't know a whole lot about it as men, but there's this perimenopause that we're going to hear a little bit about tonight. And again, I asked her, I said, there's a lot in here. She just believed and, have a love for learning and helping her patients, live a healthy, prosperous life. And so we will, with that said, we want to bring on Miss Brooke Howard.
All right, let's bring Miss Brooke up here. Let's switch to this. And let's go here. And then there she is.
Good.
How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I think I took the mirror off. Hold on a second.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm the small guy. I'm not important right at this point.
Okay.
We want to hear from these ladies, and we also have. I want to reintroduce Miss Wilson, who's our talent administrator here. And I said, hey, I need your resume. I want to know. She said, no. I'm just a person who's going through some of these things, can help you and help you all understand what's going on. See, that's what's important tonight. And so we welcome Miss Wilson, Miss Loretta Wilson, to Andrew's podcast, Real Talk Tuesday. Hey, and if you will, I know we have an intro clip I'd like to show before we dive into some.
Absolutely, sir. Okay. I got you here, and let's get this on screen. I think I set it up to be. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, here we go. Boom. And let's go.
Loved ones, and we see marriages, we see relationships, we see women who end up staying in the workforce because they're not having hot flashes and night sweats and they're getting sleep. I mean, that is sort of the magic of all of these hormones.
I'm 51 years old, and I think about how many of my friends suffer from these problems. I mean, there seems to be a cascading effect in this key age group, which is perimenopausal and menopausal.
And let me just say that it's really important to realize that we have this vision that menopause is golden girls, right? It's old people, it's old ladies. Y'all, this is the face of perimenopause. I mean, this is the reality. This is Halle Berry. This is Kate Winslet, Naomi Watts. This is the face. And thank God for all of their loud voices that are bringing awareness to that, like J-Lo, y'all, like that's 50, like that's awesome, right? So, but this idea of strength, and how do we instill this idea of strength? And part of that is your hormones are a part of the gas tank that keeps you moving. And so I think the more we understand that, but the biggest challenge is you go to your doctor for a nuanced conversation and you may not get one. And it's not their fault. It's not that they're bad or mean or don't want to help you. No one taught them how to have the nuanced conversation.
How is it that in med school there isn't this discussion about how to treat menopause?
Because that study came out and then they stopped teaching it, which means that you now have a generation of nobody who was taught how to do it. No one was taught why it was important. And this is why it is it really truly is all marketing. We've had this data for a long time. We've had the guidelines for a long time. But if no one knows what they say, and if you're only expected to do it if you're in this tiny niche of medicine, well, that's crazy, because I need the orthopedic surgeons to know about this because of all the fractures. I need the neurologists to know about this and the psychiatrists to know all about this because of the headaches and the mental health issues. But none of them know how to write, even if they're aware, they don't know how to write the prescriptions to help the patients. And so removal of these labels, these harmful labels, opens the door to say, this is your lane, get on board. Women's health is not niche. It is so important.
I know.
Okay, and I think that's the length of what I was supposed to play through 8:45.
Yes, sir. That's
All
that's
right,
great.
so let me get this off the screen, and there we go. And let's put everybody else back on the screen. All right, there's Ms. Wilson. There's everybody.
There we are.
All right, there we go.
And again, we want to welcome Ms. Brooke Howard and Ms. Loretta Wilson to Real Talk Tuesday. And so, Brooke, tell us a little bit about the business here. You know, that's again, we always like to highlight here, you know, on this show, highlight our new business coming to town, because some of it that we've received here, you know, in the last few years is something we haven't had before, and this certainly is, I think, this capability or this expertise that we have here in town. Talk to us a little bit about your health.
Well, so Your Health actually has been around in town for quite a while. I
Mhm.
actually used to be one of the providers that went to patients' homes and saw them right there where they are. So we do have nurse practitioners and MDs. The nurse practitioners are usually the ones that go to patients' homes. So that is something that has been around for quite some time. We do have a pretty large number of patients in Andrews. But about 2 years ago, I was bigger than I had ever been in my life and just exhausted and chasing after children and work. And so one of the nurse practitioners that I work with said, "You look terrible." And I was just like, thank you, I guess. And so that's really how this whole path kind of started. She really changed my life in all good ways.
Yes.
Um, as of today, I've lost 104 pounds,
Wow.
which seems crazy, but is a reality. Um, feel better than I have in years. And at that point, I had just turned 40. And I told her, I was like, it's not my hormones. I literally just turned 40 last month. Like, you're wrong. However, she was right. And as I started to feel better, I went to the owner of the company and I was like, we are doing medicine wrong. Like, we are reactive. We need to be proactive and preventative, and we need to really try to help move people forward so that they can live healthier, which is what his vision has really always been for as long as I've worked for him, which is mm, be 20 years before long.
Wow.
So he listened and he met with the companies that we've partnered with, and he embraced it and allowed me to push it forward. And so um, after we first got started, I had patients that were driving like from Andrews all the way to Somerville to see me. And so I told him, I was like, I really need a practice in Andrews. And he was like, okay, go do it. And so I did. I went and with the help of Mandy and Jeffrey, I was able to get the office space there, and we did some, remodeling and got it set up with exam rooms, and it's just been amazing because it kept everyone from having to drive so far. I think I knew we would be busy, but I honestly never imagined that we would grow as fast as we have. Um, but it is just so meaningful to be able to have the patients come and see them and see how much better they feel and how much more life they have to live when they were exhausted and just felt like, well, this is old. This is what I'm supposed to feel like. Um, because what they said in that video is so true. They really did do a lot of harm when they said hormones were bad because they just took it away and nobody realized that it was going to cause bone density to decrease and nobody realized that it was going to make the joint pain worse and nobody really knew that the anxiety and depression that went along with not having those hormones was going to be detrimental to patients. So I think having the knowledge that I do now really puts me in a place where I can help patients feel better and still feel like doing the things that they want to do, whatever that is, and be healthier.
That's right.
I was I was telling you today, it's so crazy because the things that I've seen, like I have patients who are diabetic and we're taking 5 shots of insulin a day, and once we get their hormones straight and get them feeling better, now they're not taking any. Or people who have been on pain medicine for years because of really bad arthritis who no longer need that medicine because replacing their hormones relubricated the joints and now they're not in pain anymore. Um, and those are really big things. Or like they go back to have their repeat DEXA scan and it shows that their bone density has improved. I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing the things that we can really do to help reverse some of the things that happen that are just caused by aging.
Yeah,
And I don't know
yeah. I recall you was telling me today about the one patient that lost her hair,
as young
and
as I
so
can feel.
yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about the
Yes.
yes, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's very important that anybody who is addressing, especially hormones, that they are diligent in looking at the labs, making sure that they are, doing the right things. I've had patients who had been being seen by other providers who had like male pattern baldness start. And, I was very honest with them from the very first time I saw them. I was like, I feel like you probably have male pattern baldness because I feel like your testosterone level is going to be too high. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So, I think it's making sure that you are being followed by a provider who does want to make sure that they are knowledgeable and doing the right things to help you be the best version of yourself that you can be health wise. Because otherwise, things can go overlooked and, you know, adverse things can happen that you're not wanting to. You might think you feel great, but whenever you go and look back at how you had felt and realize the things that it was doing to your body, then you realize that it really wasn't as great as you thought. So that's my big thing is just make sure that you're going to a provider that you can trust, that you're making sure that you're reminding them, hey, it's time to check my labs. Let's make sure, because there are things that can happen, especially whenever you start replacing hormones. Like it can cause your hemoglobin and hematocrit to get too high, which is easily fixed. You just go donate blood. But if you're not checking it, then you don't know. Now, most hematologists that I know say, it doesn't really increase your risk of having strokes. Most of them say, it's just because of the testosterone therapy. So, but it's still safer to go and donate the blood so that we make sure that you're living, your healthiest life. Or sometimes the testosterone can get aromatized into estradiol. For men, really makes them not feel great. Um, And I always pick at the men whenever I see them. And I'm like, okay, now you have to take your vitamins, because if you don't, I don't want you calling me telling me that you don't know why you're crying and your boobs are sore, because that's what's going to happen. If
Really?
you have
Oh my
too
God.
much
Whoa.
female hormones.
Hold up.
Slow down. You got. What?
Yeah, but it's true. Those are the things that can happen. You want for whoever you see to be very realistic with you, because if your provider tells you that, then you are very most certainly going to take your vitamins and do all the things that you're being asked to do, because you don't want for that to happen. You want for whatever the therapy is that you're taking to help you feel the best that you can.
Well, look, this is the first time I'm hearing this level of conversation about.
Yeah, I'm so lost right
Makes me-
now. I got
it
so
makes
many
me very
questions.
uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, and everybody else has got questions. I'm sure you got as many questions as me. Save them, because I'm gonna get mine in first. But go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah. No, I'm just as no. We got to get ourselves together because we weren't ready for this. So we'll chew on that. I want to hear from Mrs. Wilson. So again, we have our medical professional here. You're a relatively young lady, and I know you're not experiencing any of this yet. So help us out. Help us out while Jamal and I figure out about what Doc just said about this soreness and stuff that scares me. Yes, ma'am.
Well, see underneath my name, I put Perry Warrior because I had no idea what Perry was. Who is Perry? Who asked for Perry? I don't know Perry. And so you start experiencing things and you're attributing it to just regular everyday life. I'm just burnt out. I'm just tired. I can't figure out what's going on. I have this brain fog. I was thinking of something. I lost my train of thought. Mm-hmm. And I'm frustrated and irritated that I can't remember. I had a car accident in 2021. So I have some back pain. But then other things start hurting. And I'm like, is this associated with the car accident? Or is this something else? And you're asking the doctor, oh, no, it could be arthritis setting. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Mid-40s. But come on, you got to give me some more information than that. And it just continues to move forward. Been having these, I used to experience awful migraines. Then this 2025, I started experiencing what's called vestibular migraines, and they're so debilitating. And it was no explanation. And it's just kind of like, well, let's do the MRI. We don't see anything. Oh, your tonsils sit a little lower. Maybe that's it. Maybe we can do surgery. Surgery, it's just from one extreme to the next, and you're not getting any straight answers. And you don't feel like yourself. You're not sleeping through the night. You're not getting consistent rest. And this last 30 days, I've experienced a significant difference in hair texture. I mean, all my life, super thick, extra coarse hair. And in washing hair, I'm experiencing, you're parting, you're moisturizing, you're feeling things. And I'm like, this doesn't feel the same. And I know, what it's supposed to feel like, what it normally feels like. And so you start doing your self-research, and anybody in the office will tell you I'm the ultimate hypochondriac. I've killed myself 100 times minimum. So you're researching things and you're saying, wait a minute, perimenopause. Why aren't we learning about this? Why don't we know this stuff? And then I came across that CBS News story and heard about this study that happened. And we failed an entire generation of women. And it made me angry, but it also provided me some comfort that there is something to what's happening. I'm not losing my mind. Although, working with the public will make you go there. You're like, okay, I'm losing it. It's gone. I have nothing left. So let me just put me in a little, jacket that makes me hug myself and just cart me off. But this is something real that's happening. You're going from one extreme of hot to cold, and not necessarily a hot flash. It's just the temperature changes. And it's like, what in the world is going on? So I have comfort in knowing that I may be crazy, but I'm not insane.
Not at all.
There's a difference.
Exactly.
And there is hope. If nobody else has told you, there is.
What's the earliest that folks will start to experience these kinds of, these symptoms? And
So, it's interesting because let's just say my testosterone level was less than 3, which is extremely low. Women feel best between 150 and 250.
oh,
I
wow.
would say, on average, most, we'll say women in their 70s are probably around like the 20 to 30 range is usually where their lab is. But what I find is those of us that are younger actually have less. Now, is it because we probably didn't eat as healthy as those before us did? Or is it because maybe we have more stress? I'm not really sure exactly what causes it, but interestingly enough, those of us that are younger actually have less hormones than those that are a little older than us. So I found that very interesting. I've been doing this for almost 2 full years now, and it never ceases to amaze me. And I learn something new all the time. Speaking
So,
about your hair, one
mhm.
of the things that you might want to make sure that is checked is your thyroid. Now, most doctors just check the TSH, which is the main hormone. However, they'll only usually say like reflex to the free T3 and free T4 if the TSH is abnormal. Well, what I learned is that the TSH isn't always what's the most important, that the free T3 is actually like the fuel for your body. And so you really need that level to be somewhere between 3.5 and 4. And let me tell you, the probably 600 patients that I have, none of theirs is there naturally. Maybe one or two, but if there really is one or two, I would really be surprised. Um, and whenever it's changes in your hair all over your head, then it's usually related to the thyroid.
So what happens to the person that's sitting here listening to this and they go to their uh, healthcare provider and they start asking these questions and they start running into they pretty much get bullied medically, like what, how do you what do you say to the person that's, you know because again the doctor's like an authority figure, not like, but as an
Right.
authority figure. But so tell me, what how would you?
To advocate for yourself.
Yes, there
Yeah,
you go.
well, I think, like I said earlier, you want to make sure that whoever you're entrusting this to is somebody who understands and knows all of the options. Like, you'll hear me talk about bioidentical versus synthetic. Synthetic means it's man-made. It's not exactly what your body is naturally used to. Where bioidentical, your body usually takes it in, does what it's supposed to with it. You don't see as many of the, I won't say side effects, but like the hemoglobin and hematocrit going up or the estradiol level going up because it's bioidentical. It is what your body was used to. So, not saying that synthetic isn't always a bad choice, because there are patients, like I was telling you today at the office, sometimes people maybe financially can't afford to do bioidentical. Sometimes maybe they need to get a cream that was compounded from our compounding pharmacy that we partner with, or maybe the injections that are synthetic are what they can afford. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to have the opportunity. It just means that you have to be mindful about how you're treating them to make sure you're doing the correct labs and follow up. I think there's not a lot of PCPs that do a lot with hormones. I mean, I know as a woman, if it's, hormone related, they're telling you to go see your GYN. And even a lot of them are not 100% comfortable with
They don't know.
treating it. So I think it's knowing, you got to do your research. You got to know where you're going. You got to know that they have the knowledge that they need to be able to treat you and that you can trust them. Like, I'll always tell my patients, you might not like what I say, but what I tell you will always be the truth. Like, if it comes out of my mouth, it is what is intended for you to hear. Like, I'm not very good at sugarcoating. So it might not always be what they want to hear, but they know if I'm telling them, from the heart, because I know that it's what is best for them. So I think that's what's important, is that, maybe your PCP that you've been seeing for 30 years, maybe they're not the person that's going to be able to help you through this, and that's okay. Now, they might not be very happy about it, because let's be honest, a lot of times as providers, we get a little territorial. That's my patient. But it's because we love our patients. So, but we all have to learn how to work together for whatever is in the best interest of our patients. We can't own them all. We have to share them, because there's things that I'm not, 100% great at. Like, if there's something wrong with your heart, then I want you to see a cardiologist, right? Because I didn't specialize in that. So I think that's the thing. Like, you need to surround yourself with all of the great minds who can give you whatever it is that you need to live your best life, because that's really what's important, is whatever's important to you.
So
And everybody's different.
yeah. So then, with this hormone therapy, that takes away a lot of this, Tylenols and the things that you've just been taking over, and you get this balance, because we spend a lot of money that over counter, drugs and things that
self-prescribing.
Yes. And so, and again, I would not have had this conversation or come to see you today had I not spoken with Carla and Lewis. And it's kind of shocking right now at the age of 62, just now hearing this. And so the education piece of this thing, where again, I stumbled upon it, but how do people understand that you have to see multiple specialists to address different things? But this seems like it will address a lot of our issues.
Because
It really does. I mean, honestly,
I'm sorry, I just want to piggyback on what he was saying, and because what are some of the like if you find yourself self-medicating, what are some of the symptoms that you could know that your hormones are off? Because I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm a caveman. You talking hormones, I'm thinking you talking about women. I don't even want to hear that. And I'm sure some of the people that's in listen to this right now that won't hit the like button, but that's why they here. But it's okay. Let's go ahead.
So honestly, just like she said earlier, brain fog is a huge one. Like, a lot of times, especially in the older population, they're like, oh, I'm forgetful. A lot of times it is their testosterone level is low. Joint pain, weight gain through your midsection related to testosterone, fatigue, not sleeping well. I mean, you name it. Obviously, the big ones for women, like hot flashes, night sweats, pretty much all of it. At the end of the day, your body needed the hormones to function when you were young, and you still need them now. You just don't make them like you did when you were 20.
That really gets to this. Well, I couldn't figure out how to get rid of this little bulge I have here, this mini keg that I've been battling here for the last couple of years, running all that stuff you're trying to do. And so part of my research, I learned that, some of the experiences, like you said earlier, low energy and fatigue, weight gain, mood changes. I think I'm just an angry old guy. I don't know. Sleep disturbance, decrease, libido. I don't know. All those things happen because of this.
Yes.
Wow. I'm reading.
So I'm just a hormonal mess over here. Ball of hormones.
But when you were talking earlier, finding, other avenues or other individuals. I mean, this year alone, the medical expenses I've racked up is astronomical. it's ridiculous. I mean, I keep looking like, what did I spend money on? And I start looking at these doctor bills. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's all associated with things related to this. And you're expecting your physician to be the expert. So when Mr. Richardson stated earlier about not being intimidated, because you're expecting your physician to know it. And then sometimes you're feeling that something's off. Or am I being dismissed? Or are you actually paying attention to what I'm saying? So you do have to go that extra mile. You do have to be an advocate, and you do have to say, okay, they don't have the answer, nor do they want to understand what I'm explaining. So who else is out there for me to have a conversation with? Speaking about OBGYN, mine is a female, but still not well-versed in this area, a young OBGYN, but that's not her fault because she wasn't taught this information. And having a conversation about some things is like, well, I don't think that has anything to do with it. And then I do my own research. It has everything to do with it, because I'm not what you would consider menopausal or old enough to be in menopause, so it's these other factors that have to be researched. So the medical field and not paying attention to that study really failed women overall. But just from a perspective of the family dynamic and how people operate and function together, so everybody understands what's going on.
That's the part of it that you know what I mean, because we easily dismiss it, man. She just being a bitch, or
Yeah,
she just, you know what I mean,
absolutely.
you know what I mean, like whatever it is, and we don't really fully understand that there's some.
Exactly. And from both perspectives, that from the menopause situation and then the hormone situation, for everyone, there's something happening to everybody that everybody needs to come to the table and have a great conversation about, so we understand each other better. But by not having that information, we continue to fall into like you said, just pushing things to the side. I remember being a junior, senior in high school. My mother's in her mid-40s. She's snatching the door open in the wintertime, standing in the doorway. We're looking at, lady, is there something we need to talk about? What is going on? Not understanding hot flashes. And the most that you know about it is that, oh, she's having one of those episodes. But not enough information to know if that could have been something that could have helped her through that process. Something that may have helped her be more healthy now in her 70s. So it's
Yeah.
it's a lot.
And that's the thing, is that it's not just for the 40-year-olds like me. I mean, I have patients that are 80 and they see the difference in how they feel. When people think about hormones, most people think about libido. That's not at all what it's all about. It affects so much of how your body functions
Mhm.
that
On a molecular level, every
yes, 100%. So, I mean, it really can be life-changing.
Mhm.
I know that I will never go without them again, ever. So, this November made 2 years that I had been receiving hormone replacement therapy myself, and I can pretty much tell now whenever it's getting close time, because I'll tell my boss, I'll be like, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. I feel like my mouth may be out of control. Like I can feel myself getting like short and
Mhm.
impatient, and like
Oh
I
man, that's
see it.
gonna, y'all gonna change the whole podcast if I start this.
Yeah, but I mean, like now that I've identified it and I see what it changes, now I can identify whenever it's
You feel
time
it.
and I
Mhm.
need a refill, so and a lot of my patients are like that. Like whatever gets better first is usually what comes back first. So especially like I love my little patients who do it because of their joints, because they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm hurting. And then whenever I do my 4-week follow-up, they'll be like, oh yeah, those joints are feeling so much better. Thank you again. And that's what makes my job meaningful, is because I get to see that difference.
Well, if anybody wants to know what they can get me for Christmas, go down to Your Health. I don't know if they have gift certificates, but you can start an account in my name and start making payments towards these services. Thank you.
Hey, so,
Well,
hey, Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
was, I was gonna say, I was telling the mayor earlier today that it's just like going to any other doctor's office. You know, if you have a $20 copay, you're probably gonna have a $20 copay with us. We are a primary care physician's practice. We just have lots of specialties. And I do see primary care patients as well. I do have patients that I do hormone replacement for, or I do GLP weight loss for, or all the things, but also see them for all of their primary care needs. So, um, you
Yeah.
know, can
And that's
kind of
what I
get it
wanted you
all
to
in
talk
one
about.
place.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure we covered too. The other services that you all provide, because you ran down a good list. We're going to hear a little bit from this gentleman here as we transition, but I wanted to again make sure that people know some of the other services you all provide there.
Yes. So, he mentioned earlier like Botox. We do GLP-1s for weight loss. And I have to say, I have to commend the owner of the company, Scott, again on that. Whenever I approached him about it, and we can really make a difference. We can help people lose weight. It can help with their heart if they're having heart trouble, or if they have trouble breathing. I mean, it can relieve the excess weight on their joints to help with joint pain. Like, there's so many things that you can help improve for a person if they're able to lose weight. And he said, I don't really care about making money on it. Let's give it to them for whatever we can get it for, because that's the right thing to do. And so I have not seen anywhere that's comparable to the prices that we have. We work very closely with a very, very great compounding pharmacy. And, they do an awesome job at making sure that our patients have everything that we need. So,
Oh, there's a cutie pie just in the picture.
yes.
And I have a question before we segue into the this gentleman who we're going to be looking at. That's the founder of this therapy.
Mhm.
Okay,
For
but
the
here's a
bio.
there you
Yes.
go. There's a
Mhm.
question there for you. Does your office accept VA referrals?
Sure. Absolutely.
Main. Also,
There it is.
I
Chris,
will see.
Chris,
I will
Chris.
see any patient.
And
I
so
don't turn patients away.
we can just come in as a new patient, fill out paperwork. We don't necessarily need a referral.
Nope, don't need a referral. And as a matter of fact, I was telling the mayor that Carla, who he was saying he had talked to, she's actually our intake coordinator. So she's the person that intakes all the new patients and kind of explains the process and gets them set up with their provider, because we cover South Carolina and Georgia. So we are pretty large, and we do have wellness providers in most areas. We have physical clinics pretty much all down the Grand Strand in Bennettsville. We have an office in Florence, obviously, my favorite office in Andrews, Somerville, Monk's Corner, Okatee. We actually just onboarded a new clinic on Hilton Head. So we are very, very busy and trying to definitely improve South Carolinians' lives for sure.
So you said your patients here grew, I guess, in a short period of time, up to like what, 500 or 600, like in a short period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we actually started seeing patients in person until maybe, I want to think it was like May or June. And the only clinic in our company that has been growing faster than us is Okatee. So I think that speaks volumes for such a small town. I mean, I think we're doing big things, and we're definitely helping people to live healthier, happier lives.
I've researched that, and that's the definition of the word Andrews: doing big
Big
things,
thing.
being small.
Right. My
Hey,
whole
so-
life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to love it. Hey, so yeah, so we want to, let's go ahead, Jamal, to the next, and we'll get Brooke
Okay.
to talk to us a little bit about this gentleman here and this this option. if you
All
will.
right, let's get this queued up here, and let's run it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Donovitz. I'm the founder and the chairman of BioT Medical. BioT Medical is a company that trains practitioners how to do hormone optimization. If you're tired all the time, if you're gaining weight, if you have low sex drive, you're not sleeping well, you kind of have that brain fog and can't remember things, you could be a candidate. If you're a female and you're over the age of 25, or if you're a male and you're over the age of 30, you could be having problems with your hormones. Those hormones could be optimized, but using little small pellets, like a grain of rice placed just under the skin. But when you go to your doctor, they want to put you on medications, diet pills, sleeping pills, memory pills. Pretty soon your purse is filled with pill bottles. But is that really going to give you a better quality of life? Why take 104 shots a year when you can get pellets twice a year and have better benefits, more stable hormone levels, less side effects? It just makes sense. This all started with one patient. I couldn't get her hormones optimized, so much so that she actually went to another city and got pellet therapy. And I was like, what's pellet therapy? And pellet therapy for her meant that she got her marriage back, that she got her life back. And she said, Gary, you need to investigate this. And I did. I became so interested in it. I started a company and I wanted to train as many people as possible so that we could change lives across the country. And that's what we've done at BioT. I don't really know what natural means, but what I do know is what bioidentical means. Wouldn't you like to have hormone optimization using hormones that were exactly the same as what your ovary or testicle made? No synthetic hormones, no fillers, no things to cause allergies, no things to cause problems later. Pellets have been around for 80 years. They're used in 5 continents. And we know that pellets both work and are safe. We actually take pure testosterone, bioidentical testosterone, pure estradiol, bioidentical estradiol, and we compress it. Those little small pellets, once compressed, are then sterilized. They're placed painlessly under the skin, usually in the hip. These pellets will completely dissolve, and they will produce a certain amount of hormone absorption each day. After 4 or 5 months, those pellets are gone. Then we replace those hormones again. After you've been treated, your husband's going to go, what about me? Because I have the same symptoms, and you're going to want to bring him in because we can optimize both of you together. It's really couples therapy. By the way, you'll want to bring your parents in after that. The good news is it's really time to start feeling your best. If you want to feel your best, if you want to have that vitality that you had when you were in your 20s or in your 30s, if you're a guy, it's really time to find out. Are you a candidate for pellet therapy? Can we help you at BioT? It's time to give us a call, find a certified practitioner who can help you, take the questionnaire, get your lab work done, get your life back. Now's the time.
All right,
So-
there we
so-
go.
Yeah, so I had this. So part of this conversation Sunday with this young man, we talked a lot about this portion of it, and of course I learned more from Brooke today when I was talking to. But this seems to be from all research and conversations is probably to be the answer to a lot of our small challenges, or big challenges, I should say. And so, Brooke, if you can help us understand a little bit more what Dr. Gary was talking about here, and then how that works down at your center, it'll be very helpful.
Yep. So we do the procedure right here in town. I am certified. It's a very simple procedure. Women, I would say probably 10 minutes or less. I've done so many now. I've gotten pretty proficient at it. Men, now you guys, y'all are a little more difficult. Y'all take a little longer.
Lord.
But that's because y'all need so much more testosterone than we do. Y'all's pellets are twice the size of ours. And no, they're not enormous, but just to give you an idea, women might get on average, let's say, 125 to 150 milligrams of testosterone. Men may get anywhere from 1,600 to 2,400 milligrams. I've even given as much as 2,600 milligrams of testosterone to a man.
It sounds like a horse pill.
Yeah. So all right. So is this engineered to? Because I mean, if I do this, I don't want to be with. I'm thinking like with this and Chat GPT, you just created a dang Superman. Like,
Nope.
and I don't want to get overdosed and then have a bad month. You know what I mean? Out there ripping chairs up.
No. So that's why the
Hey.
labs are so important. That's why we have you fill out all of the papers. So the pellets and the absorption is really based off of cardiac output. So whenever the pellets are placed under the skin, your body builds blood vessels around them. And so every time your heart beats, you get a little bit, which is how it keeps the levels stable, unlike injections and other things. And so like a man, for instance, let's say you exercise a lot, or even smokers, obviously they go through it a little faster too because their heart rate is usually higher. Um, those situations all go into our clinical decision site and it generates a recommendation for me. Now, what I usually do is the girls in the office print out the recommendation and then me and the patient talk about it. You know, this is what it is suggesting. Sometimes you have, mostly women are like, oh, well, I don't want to do, like, can we do a lower amount? Because what if I don't like it? And I'm like, oh, you're going to like it. You're going to wish you would have got the right dose, but we can do that if that's what you want. Now, men are always like, can you give me 2 or 3 extra? Um,
Wow.
and especially once you've had the procedure done and you know how much better you feel, right? Then you're like, oh yes, give me some more. But it's individual. It is not one size fits all. So it is based off of your information, your medical history, your symptoms, and your labs. So it is very, very much so customized to each individual person.
So each visit could be different based on your labs.
Yes,
Each
absolutely.
okay, I understand now.
And
Yeah.
like, let's say it's your third time. So men usually need pellets about every 6 months. Let's just say it's your third time coming in, and now you've lost some of that weight and you've built more muscle back because we've optimized your testosterone. And maybe now you're even, exercising more. So maybe you're going through the pellets faster. So maybe you only got 1,800 last time, but maybe this time it says you need 2,400 milligrams because of that. So it calculates it based off of all the information we give it. It knows like when your last pellets were given, what your levels are now, and it's able to say, okay, well, based off of this information, here is my recommendation of what you should give the patient.
So then if they can come, the patient can come there and get this assessment done and then take the results of that if they, want to, get get an opinion from their PC and then come back and get the treatment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What would this cost somebody out of pocket?
So the visit, obviously, if you have insurance, can be covered by the insurance. The
No, I'm just talking
pellets,
about somebody that doesn't have insurance that says, hey, listen, is it negotiable?
so it is, I'm pretty sure now, I'm not the one to be quoting on prices. I'm the one that tells all the patients what they need, but I'm pretty sure if you are cash pay and you didn't have insurance that men is about $900 and women is maybe 525. Now, if you have insurance, then the cost for a man is 750 and the cost for a woman is 400. Insurance doesn't currently cover it. I don't know that they ever will. My theory is that it will probably affect big pharma too much because people come off of so many other medications.
Hey, now you talking that y'all about to get raided. Like y'all trying to heal people.
Well, but yeah, if we can fix things instead of throwing medicine at it, then why would we not? And that was my whole point in telling Scott 2 years ago that we were doing medicine wrong. We were waiting until people had problems and then we were trying to fix them instead of trying to be proactive and preventative and figure out what the person needs before they get to the point that they have the problem. So that is really my focus. Like when you come to see me, I'm all about finding ways to get you off of medicine. I know he talked about peptide therapy. That's something that's going to be very much so up and coming in the years to come as far as medicine. Peptides are there's probably over 3,000 of them that naturally occur in the body. When you think about years ago when people talked about growth hormones and, they were injecting themselves and then they were like having too much. Well, there's all kinds of peptides that you can use that range from things that stimulate your body to naturally produce growth hormones to there's even one called DSIP that helps you sleep at night. So just so many things. There's like BPC 157 and TB 500 that are good for healing. We talked about the wounds, very good for helping heal wounds, but that's not something that is advertised or really talked about. So, we could be doing things like that to help people heal wounds that wouldn't then need to go to the wound care centers every week and go through all of the procedures that they have to. But, that's just not information that we all are armed with, without having gone and learned more about them so that we can.
I literally just watched a video yesterday about how certain flowers different soldiers used to carry with them because of the healing properties for wounds. And then in the video it talked about how because of marketing, because of big pharma, we literally got pharmacies around us. I remember me and the mayor had a time to walk through the woods over in Oatland area with this guy, and he was just pointing out different medicines and the different things. So yeah, wow.
Hey, and I won't call the gentleman's name, but the gentleman that I spoke with on Sunday night. But I do know from his experience, he was very sick at one point in time. He was on a lot of medication. Now, Ms. Brooke know him well, and she understands. She know more about his medical. But I know he was in pretty bad shape. And when this came along and he began his treatment, he told me personally, most of that stuff, if not all of it, is gone. I'm talking about it. It's amazing, and just to see, and listen to a living testimony right in front of you about this. I think it's something that we really need to look into, and get this at a minimum, get the assessment done, and because it changes life. And you can tell us a little bit more about that, Brooke.
Well, and I was going to say, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can actually go. He actually did a podcast with me, with our podcast. I think it's called Your Health, where we did a segment where we talked about, how bad he felt and that he really thought he was dying. Like he decided it was time to retire from work. He just couldn't keep doing it anymore. And, I tried to tell him and he wouldn't listen to me. And whenever he finally did, the difference that it has made in him, mentally, physically, emotionally, I mean, he's back to his old vibrant self. Like he is, I would say, full of it, and probably would describe him well, but he really is. But he was not in a good place for quite some time.
Yeah.
He had a lot of medical things going on, was needing medicine for hypertension, insulin for diabetes, having gout. I mean, it was just one thing after another. And for to see him now and him not need any of that, like he lived off of Aleve or Motrin because of his joint pain, and to know that I played a part in it really bringing back his life and him being able to do the things that he enjoys. I mean, that's what fills my cup.
Yeah, he spoke with passion about that, and I could tell just standing there, listening to him, and again knowing that he went through what he did, and wasn't there to see him. You were able to see what he went through, and to know now where he is, and this has a lot to do with that. And so, hey,
he said you can call him out. I'm reading his message.
That's what he said. That's my good friend.
But I mean, talking about peptides like collagen for women, well, for everyone.
Yeah.
And go back to
well, I unpack that a little bit for me now. Peptides, y'all going I can't keep up. I can't type that fast, but go ahead.
Yeah. So peptides.
Personally experiencing, always having super long, healthy nails. I mean, like I didn't need a box cutter. I'm slicing open stuff with with a finger.
Yep.
Like I said, just the hair, skin changes. I feel like I'm 16 years old again, going through these hormonal things. But again, collagen I know has its own peptides, and is that something that you all offer with?
Absolutely. So actually, GHKCU is the peptide specifically that helps you produce more collagen. And we have a lot of like really good, great blends. So they call it stacking, where they put more than one peptide already, set up in the vial for you, because peptides, most people don't like injections, but peptides are injections. But they work literally in the mitochondria of the cell, most of them. So if we go way back to biology, that's the powerhouse. That's where everything starts, and that's how everything works. So the GHKCU comes in a set that has the BPC 157 and TB 500, which I talked about were good for healing. So there's just so many things out there. There's some that actually like work really well for weight loss. One is called, it's a stack that has AOD, MOTS-C, which helps with energy, and then tesamorelin, which is one of the growth hormones. I did a education this morning on Sermorelin, which is actually 29 of the 44 amino acids. I'm sure y'all wanted to learn that make up, but it actually allows your body to produce growth hormone. It stimulates it on its own, and so you can have increased bone density. Obviously, you can build more muscle back. Everybody who I have that takes it just goes on and on about how great their sleep is. So I mean, they all just do so many things. It's just there's so much out there that nobody knows about.
And I'm appreciative of this conversation and being brought into it. So I'll be checking you guys out soon, because just talking about even going back to weight loss. I had 185, 190, and this was like in the last year and a half. And it was like I bought clothes, and in 3 months, the pants are like, no, you might have bought them at this size, but you're a different size now. And it was just that fast. And had it not been for a minor medical setback, those clothes were a wash, in my opinion. I didn't want to throw them away, but it was just like, what in the world is going on? And how is this happening so fast? And you don't see it in its totality, because it's only structured in, one certain area. It's just sitting somewhere, but it's unbelievable what your body's going through and transitioning through, that what you're talking about can assist with. Yes, you need diet, exercise, all of those great things, but you need to make sure that your levels are where they need to be for your body to work in tandem with what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So if you go on the Biote website and go under Find a Provider, you can search Andrews, and you will find me, and you will be like, that is definitely not the person that I'm talking to. I literally was doing a visit with a new patient, and it was a telehealth visit because he was getting ready to move down here. And he was literally like, you're not what I was expecting. And it caught me really off guard. I was like,
what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah. And he was like, well, when I went online and found a provider, like, I don't feel like you're the person I saw. And I was like, oh, that was like 100 pounds ago. I'm so sorry. So I literally just took a new headshot 2 weeks ago so that we can get it updated, because they were like, well, we can't have people thinking that they're not seeing the real provider. And I was like, good point. I hadn't really thought about it like that. So
wow, that much of a change, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
You should definitely go take a look at it. You would be surprised.
Well, I have me a new Facebook friend now. We had probably a new physician down here to come. I'm coming to see you all, because you got to learn more. I just in the military, and I think I got a good friend of mine on here that's also a veteran. you know, we believe that just running, push-ups, you know, all that stuff there, that's the only thing we need to stay healthy. And I've tried that for the last couple of years, and that's not working in my old, you know, in my old age. I'm going to have to do something different. I'm not a big vitamin, you know, didn't do a whole lot of milk and juice. So I'm going to have to change the way I do business so we can, you know, be around a little bit longer than just kind of going off of the physical training piece of it. And I think that's where we get confused.
Well, and I don't even know that I even mentioned this part, but you know, when they went through all the hormones are bad, what they failed to mention is the actual cardiac and brain protection that the hormones actually give us too. So, you know, when you're thinking
Whoa,
about
whoa! I get smarter.
Yes, your brain function works much
yes,
better.
it
And
functions
And you take
better.
veteran
That's how,
referrals.
it's so
that's how,
disappointing about that study that they shelved it because one, they were looking at the wrong age group,
yep.
and two, the information that they decided to take from it that was negative, it was such a minuscule amount of negativity. Oh, it's going to increase, you know, if you have a history of breast cancer, you know, that's in my family history and myself. So it's like, oh, but it's only like 0.2%.
Yep.
And as opposed to the totality and looking at the right age group and getting the right information, like she said, taking all this great information about preventing strokes and brain health and all of these other things, like, hey, you know, heart, you know, because, you know, heart disease is the number one killer of women. And
But it didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be if they had focused on this study the right way.
Yes.
And have hypertension, you're more than likely to be affected by some cardiological issue. But the information was in this study, and it was just collecting dust and failing people day after day.
And if you really go back and look at it in detail, it was really the patients who were getting the synthetic progesterone. It didn't have really anything to do with the rest of it. It was really the synthetic, which is, you know, part of the reason why I'm like, I don't really like synthetic. I won't necessarily say no, it's not my favorite, but you know, that's why I like the bioidentical, because I want to make sure that I'm being safe and I'm doing the right things. So.
But they continue to push progesterone for women who are experiencing fibroids or, you know, before hysterectomies and things of that nature, further putting them at risk. And I'm like, so you gonna take everything bad from the study and execute and take none of the good and then just put it away. It's baffling to me. And again, I think I'm at the right stage to get this information, but I am angry for those women who could have benefited from this information over the last 20 plus years.
Yep, and they suffered from it.
Yeah.
So where can this study? I think it'd probably be helpful too if this we only showed probably a minute and a half of the conversation in that first video. So it'd be helpful to go back and listen to that entire video, and wherever the study is, Jamal, if you can grab that at some point in time and make it a part of this.
Definitely, and I'm gonna pin your clinic information on onto this post. I'm gonna repost this. This is and I'm gonna clip this out, and this makes me look really smart. I'm just gonna keep them be upfront with y'all right now, because
yeah. So again, this is not going to be the last time we have
can't be
on here. We're going to focus probably the next time more on men health, because again, you know, we just can't. Ego is not going to get us there. Strength is not going to get us there. In fact, we lose a lot of that, you know, if we heard some of the details of what was talked about tonight. And so we got to talk more about that. I know for us, Black Man, we're going to have to get on it, brother. We can't just sit back and muscle through everything. We got to get there. And that's for everybody, you know. I know we just don't talk about it a lot. A lot of things we don't talk about that it impacts us. And again, we hide it, and we're just going to have to do better so we can be around for a long time. And so anything is to wrap up for tonight. And again, we want to make sure you all get the information where Brooke and her team is. A lot of wonderful, smart people down there. I didn't know.
Mhm.
So I didn't, I've never met Brooke, right? So I go into this place and I don't know where I am. I'm looking around and then I heard a voice to my right. I turned. There's two young ladies there. One I knew because, some of the flooding, and I met her down with her grandmother. And the other young lady I didn't know, it was Maddie.
Mhm.
Yeah. She said, nope, I'm not Brooke. I said, Brooke is back there. I said, okay. So here comes another lady came out. She said, no, I'm not Brooke. I'm like, well, how many are here? And believe it or not, another lady came out. She said, no, I'm not Brooke, but this is, and here she comes. And we have her here tonight. So we're very, very fortunate to have you here with all of this knowledge and information. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's just right here, maybe a mile outside of the city limits. If it's a mile, we'll have the address posted here, and there's just so much more. And hopefully this has been helpful for as much to you all as has been for me. And
I know it has been for me because I'm sitting here, and Brooke, thank you. You see, I got a chance now.
You might go back and play football.
Listen, you might surprise yourself. I mean, just when you thought you might not ever.
If Phillip Rivers can come back at 44, 53 shouldn't be a stretch, right?
No,
And he played well. And he played well.
No
Hey,
doubt.
you have this other little clip before we go
Absolutely,
off.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
And let's run it.
I think I know what's the matter. It's the change. You mean spring is coming? No, Ma. Not the seasons. I'm talking about life. Don't you see the forgetfulness, the hot flashes? It's the change of life. Oh, my. At my age?
Some 50 years ago, All in the Family, one of
Yeah.
Sick right there. It's classic.
That's
I love
classic.
it.
That's one of my favorite shows. So folks, a little light humor on the end here, but it's really important that we become more and more aware of what we have here, what we're going through, and how we can combat a lot of the things that we experience on a daily basis. So again, I want to say thanks to Ms. Brooke Howard and Ms. Loretta Wilson for sharing some of your personal experience, what's going on, and hopefully this is helpful. And again, for me and Jamal and the rest of us rough, tough guys out here, you got to get on board, guys, because we have a chance. Now I'm 62. I'm out of the plane. Yeah, exactly. So
Just
we got
checking.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. So thanks to everyone. Jamal, anything?
Nah, you know what I'm about, man. We got all these people in there hanging around. I ain't charge y'all nothing for this conversation.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. That's it. I mean, come on, y'all.
Let's do it for Brooke. Let's do it for
Yes,
Loretta.
yes. Miss Brooke, listen, tell everybody where they can and again, I'm gonna post the information, but tell everybody where they can reach you guys at your office, and all that good stuff.
I can't hear y'all anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, it's all good, but I'll put the information up. Ms. Wilson, you got any last words?
Just thankful for the information that we're getting tonight. Thank you for the invitation. I'll be checking out your health very soon. And in the meantime, I'll do my best to not let other people's shortcomings make me be more irritable. I'll be the best I can possibly be. But sir, you in that town corner over there, sir. We're not going to even discuss the levels that you take things to sometimes. Again, just understanding that there is something that can be done. That's a great sign of relief. Certainly. So I'm hoping that people are watching, not just women for menopause, perimenopause, but also men and their concerns. So this has been great, helpful information. So thank you for the platform tonight to listen and learn.
Yeah, we got.
Do we have Brooke back?
Expand this out. Are you back yet, Ms. Brooke? Can you hear us?
Doesn't look.
Doesn't look like she can hear us. But it's all good. All right, so
from the video.
Yeah. So again, we'll bring you back on, Ms. Brooke. All right, and Ms. Wilson, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, ma'am. All right, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, man, listen.
That's a little too heavy for me, bro. I'm ready to go back to politics. I'm ready to attack some politicians, man.
That first line that she was talking about with men experience and we got to get it together. That was a little bit scary.
Yeah, because and again, man, the key one of the key things I heard in there is with relationships. You feel what I'm saying? And it makes you think of how many relationships could be made better if there was just more, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just lack of understanding on what's causing these mood swings or what's causing these, you know, these angst. Even if it's an intimacy situation, you know, all of these things are impacted by your hormone, testosterone, all that stuff. So we got to get smarter about it, man. And hopefully again, this has been helpful for our audience. And I know you'll make it available to them, man. And we just wish everyone the best.
No doubt. Again,
I mean, we out here doing, you know, we out here now in relationships.
Come on, man. Listen,
You know,
listen.
we done got
The
politics.
number one. Even if you don't hit the like button, we still the number one. Because that's where you come for the information. You've been hitting this long, you're gonna have to hear me. Like with some Ric Flair, baby. Hey, you know what it is. The number one podcast. You can't go to none of these other podcasts and get this, but it's okay because we're gonna keep bringing it to you. And I was thinking about, you know, kind of cutting it back at the new year, but nah, I'm gonna work on through the holidays, keep bringing you guys as much information. There's still going to be a conversation. I'm going to do that one in person, Mayor, with the father who's dealing with his daughter, you know, expressing the struggles of, you know, that he's got with his daughter and these vapes.
Hey, there's my friend right there. There's Carla McKenzie and Lewis. Hey, listen, and shout out to my besties. I have, you know, I got besties out there. You weren't at the tree lighting.
Nah, I missed the tree lighting and the parade. I missed the parade.
Ella and Emma, man, these young ladies. You should go back and take a look at it. She's my co-host doing the tree lighting. Read a very beautiful message to the town, and I mean it was had my allergies, you know, acting up. But again, Carla McKenzie, give her a call. There's a number there, 839-224-4584. 839-224-4584. And she'll get you set for an appointment to go down and see Miss Brooke and the team to begin to look at, see what's going on with you. All right. That's what it's all about.
No doubt. Hey, and y'all need to put in a petition. We're gonna put an online petition. Y'all gonna have to get me unbanned from some of these sites. Andrews High alumni page. I should not be banned from there. Andrews SC News. I'm a better person now. Okay. And after I get this hormone therapy, it'll be even better. So, because this type of information needs to be on that platform. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And these other platforms. Guys, some change in 2026 is coming, man. Look at just, hey, you know what I mean?
It's a new guy.
It's a new guy already. I ain't even had the hormone treatment yet. Just thinking about it. It's improving my life.
Big time.
Shout out to my man Chris right there real fast. Let me give Chris some love real
Big
fast,
Chris.
man.
Hey, I'm still coming down. I'm coming down, Battle Buddy. I'll be down in Georgetown to see you, man. And yeah, let's see what Chris do.
Yeah, Chris is he said something that was very important too, because a lot of us soldiers, you know, we kind of, you know what I mean, we're like that frog in the water, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna say nothing, you're just gonna let it ball. But y'all make sure y'all go check out my man Chris Customs LLC, professional laser engraver, this word Cerakote applicator, retail sales and transfers of firearms in Georgetown, South Carolina. That is 706-326-1763.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Glad to see him. Hey, again, we want to wish everyone, if I guess, will we have another show before Christmas or?
Man, listen, I'm locked in. Let's do it. I mean,
do it. And we'll and we'll talk a little bit about our football players, man. These guys are still getting accolades and moving on up. Several of the football players were recognized at the state level. So
absolutely,
we'll have to do a show based on that.
I'm gonna have to bring them guys in, and because I know, and I think they're about to get ready to most of them playing basketball, and so they get ready to go off to these Christmas tournaments and all that good stuff. So I'll see if I can slide, you know, while they're in the motel or something. So, you know, get up
we
there
may have
and,
to do a special because I want to make sure, you know, we have folks out there as we approach this holiday season or Christmas may not be able to afford, you know, gifts. So we're looking at opportunities now to make some family, you know, dreams, not your big dreams, but some, you know, at least to be able to contribute to some gifts and things for families that find themselves in special needs situations. So more to follow on that. This weather is pretty bad. So if we know anybody that's out there that does not have shelter, please come on board and let us know too, so we can try and find some shelter here to get through this cold snap. All right, that's all I have, my friend.
All right, that's it right there, man. We just went into the Christmas spirit, I guess. That's what just happened. But what you got here, Chris? It says here, the OIF Vet Group will be giving out hams for New Year's. So yeah, Chris, y'all send me some more information on that so we can get that out, and like where you're going to be doing that at, so we can, you know, let me get the people out there. Also,
Those that don't know, OIF is the
Shrine Bowl is coming up, and of course we're supporting all players. Shout out to Brother Giles and the coach from a couple coaches from, I think, from Carver's Bay that's going to be participating in the Shrine Bowl. That's the granddaddy. That's the big boy. You know what I mean?
I think it's in Greenville. I thought about going up. A good friend of mine is a coach out of Rock Hill, or Perry Sutton. Man, he's a guy that we need to get our young players in touch with. He has access to some doors that he's created, you know, because Rock Hill, I believe, has produced more NFL players.
And listen, you talk about football, you talk about D1U up there.
Yeah. One of our very own here from Andrew's family here that has a young man that's going to USC to play. So we want to highlight all those guys. We'll have them all on, bring on Mr. Giles, all of them, man. These guys just going to the next level. So that's what we I think we should probably do a special show on that.
No doubt. We'll get at it. And ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys. South Point, there it is. Thank you for that correction there.
That's right. South Point. Yep.
And again, you know, we'll be back because got some stuff to talk about, man. Shout out to them folks that came and stood tall in that meeting over there in Williamsburg County. That vote went the way of the citizens. I have to drop a bomb for them folks over there.
Yeah, watch some of it. That'll be good. We'll get caught up on all that good stuff as well.
No doubt, no doubt. It's all right. Y'all have a good night. Peace. In times of trouble, you need someone who knows the law, knows the community, and knows how to fight for you. The law offices of Caesar McKnight, right here in Kingstree, South Carolina, is committed to protecting your rights and protecting your future. From criminal defense, personal injury, to family law. When the stakes are high, experience matters, and so does someone who listens. Call today and get a competent, passionate, and effective legal team on your side. Because when life hits hard, you don't have to go through it alone. The law offices of Caesar McKnight, justice for real people, serving the Kingstree and surrounding South Carolina communities. Call now or visit the website today or stop by for a free consultation.